Hey, welcome back. Today we got a game for you, Citywars Tower Defense. Now you might be wondering what kind of game this is, and the title of the game kind of gives it away a little bit. It's a tower defense game, and it's kind of like your classic tower defense game, crossed with like a Minecraft. The art style is very similar to Minecraft, as you can see. It's got
English.
that voxel kind of pixelated art style, and it's pretty fun. It's a easy paced game. It's just something to have a laid back time. You get to customize your own character and like choose classes and everything. I went with a mage. If you're familiar with the channel, I pretty much always go mage anytime it's an option. Uh, you put in your name and
Hello,
everything, and
adventure. Welcome
it
to
goes
City
through
Wars
this. It
Tower
walks you
Defense.
through how to play the
This
game
is
and
the
everything.
tutorial for the Tower Defense
Uh,
game.
it
You
does
have to
give
stop
you a
enemies
little
from
bit of
reaching the core
tutorial
crystal.
like it's showing here,
They
but
will
in
appear from
terms of
displayed
like
red
actually
images.
figuring out how to
They
go
will follow the
farther,
path
it
to
kind
get
of
to the
just
core crystal and destroy
lets
it.
you figure it out on your own.
Once an enemy gets
Uh,
to the core crystal,
but it starts you
from
off the
within the
earlier
core crystal,
levels.
you
It's
can
pretty
build a shield.
simple. But yeah, we'll go through the game and just play. You drop your towers. You don't really get any special towers to start off with. You got just your basic tower, and it gives you a good idea where to drop it. But it does actually let you place it wherever you want. Uh, for the most part, you can't place it on the path, obviously, but off the path you can put wherever you want. And there does seem to be a limit to how many you can
Good
build.
job. We
I
defended
think
our
that kind
core
of goes
crystal.
up as
Now let's
time goes
expand our
on.
city so we can build better towers.
Not really sure how. It's not really
Collect
clear
resources.
cut on
Stand
how
next to them and press action.
you progress. That's one of my biggest criticisms. Is like it kind of just throws you into it, and I figured out quite a bit in my playtime. You got your little crafting table, and that'll let
You can
us
gather some stone here.
build some tools. Like I said, it's very like Minecraft, and we just gather some resources. That's another thing that I kind of felt was a little off. Is like you have all this
You can
time
now
to
craft
gather
a stone axe
resources
with
and
the
stuff,
crafting.
and it's like Minecraft in a lot of ways. You're gathering resources to build stuff, but in this game you also have like a functional purpose to build stuff. You're trying to defend your power crystal, whatever, from being attacked, and
You can chop
it
trees
just
that
feels
fall
like the
and
game
use
doesn't
to
have a
upgrade
good
your
balance
tower.
yet of like as somebody who played Minecraft early on in alpha and stuff, I kind of like just going
You can
around
now
gathering
upgrade your tower and
resources.
make it
So it's I'm not a big fan of the whole I gotta keep running back and making sure that I can upgrade the towers and stuff, and it doesn't really give me very much time to just walk around, harvest resources, and build stuff.
Congratulations. You won
But it does keep you focused.
the more you play, the harder the game will become.
The more you play, the harder the game will become. Yeah, that's true. I feel like this first level, it's very much set up for you to fail. I don't think you can pass it because I upgraded as much as you can at this point, and these guys just completely steamrolled me. Like, I don't know how on earth I could have stopped them. So yeah, I just
Don't
did
worry
my
if you
best
don't manage
there,
to
but
clear the maze.
I don't
Each time you
think
start the
it's
game,
one of
you'll
those
have special
things that
power-up
like
will help
again
you to start.
they program the game for you to fail at that point as like a way of showing what causes you to fail and stuff.
You are now ready to start the game.
I noticed I picked the crooked one for my first bonus thing, and it's cool. It lets me shoot out little spells, but something I didn't realize this early on was that tools and weapons both have durability, which I don't particularly like. It gets a little annoying, especially in the early game. It doesn't have a way to craft or even really to buy another wand So once my wand's depleted, I can't cast magic anymore. If I can't cast magic, then what was even the point in choosing a mage, you know? I gotta go back to just building a club table, which I haven't even unlocked yet. So this is the first one that it really kind of lets you do your own thing. And honestly, one of my biggest things that I like about the game is just how each little area just feels like its own unique little world. And it's so cool, and I really wish I had more time to just, run around and do stuff, kind of like Minecraft. I wish there was a way that you could like pause it, but I guess people could take advantage of that. But at the same time, I don't know. I would have personally enjoyed just being able to build stuff. Now, this game does have co-op as well. I'm not really sure how it works. I didn't have anyone to play with. And the game is free to play, so if you have friends that you want to check this game out with, yeah, both of you can download it free from Steam and check it out. I'd imagine it's probably a lot more enjoyable having somebody else to play with, but every game is. Drop a little crafting table here. Oh, accidentally built two. I can't figure out if there's a way to remove one. It's not as simple as like in Minecraft where you can just like hit it with an axe and it just pops into your inventory. That doesn't seem to work at all. So when you go into the little crafting menu on the crafting thing, it shows you, it has like one tab for the stuff you can build that's at the top, and then it shows like the stuff that's in your inventory at the time. Your towers, for the most part, in these earlier levels, they can take care of most of the stuff. Yeah, I think most of the early enemies are just like these little mushroom things and rats. Now, as you go on, the rats are actually interesting enemies. They kind of have like a Russian nesting doll ability of like that. Some rats will start off like really big, and then as your towers, you kill one, they'll turn into a smaller one. And there could be different tiers. Like it starts off with a really big rat, and then there's like 3 levels. And that's something that tripped up my towers the first time, because I always, at least in earlier levels, when I play tower defense, I make them very front heavy, just wipe them out at the front. And then as the game goes on, as I need more and more towers, I put them farther back and stuff. But when I started having trouble with those rats, I'd have to like stop. It'd like kill the bigger rats, but then they would turn into smaller rats and just keep going, and they'd already be past my towers before I even realized it. So when you're playing it, watch out for that. There's lots of stuff you can build. Again, it's not real clear on how to get certain resources. So through playing, I've learned to upgrade your tower the first time. It's pretty simple. You just need the branches and the stone that you can just gather on your own. But as time goes on and you want to upgrade them farther, I think branches and stone are actually what you need to build a tower, and then to upgrade it, you need the hardwood or the logs or whatever it's calling it. And for those, you have to chop down a tree. Then to upgrade it further, you need planks. And the only way to get planks is the sawmill. So later on, you get an option to like purchase upgrades, and you can do that. You pretty much, in the early game, you get to choose between either getting a sawmill or getting I think it's like a weaving table or something. and each one gives you different things, but you have to get them both eventually. The sawmill will allow you to get planks, which will allow you to upgrade your towers more, which I would recommend. It'll make the early levels easier, being able to upgrade your towers a second time. And yeah, see, there's the rat. I really liked using the wand. I felt like in most part it was unnecessary, but once it broke on me, I really felt like the game lost a lot. I think that they could definitely work on the classes a little more. Like, I didn't even see what all the classes were. I just picked mage without even really thinking. But it doesn't seem like being a mage really does anything for me other than I have mana that I can use a wand with, but I don't even know how you get a wand after your first one breaks. And if you don't pick that first one, you're basically just a dude with a hat. Don't forget to go around and gather all the resources that the enemies drop. They're useful to you later on. You got these traders in every area. I'm not even sure why they put them in these first areas, because there's no possible way for me to have coins at this point. It's just kind of like taunting me with it. Alright. So basically, you go to the areas and the waves just keep coming. And then once the waves are done, their little monster spawner will collapse, and then it'll just transport you back out. It's kind of like, best way to describe the areas is it's kind of like in Spyro. You know how in Spyro you would go into a little portal and that'd be its own little world, and then you'd do everything there, and then you just come back. It's like that, but as far as I can tell, you can never come back, which is kind of disappointing to me, because like I kind of enjoyed building and like adventuring around these little worlds. I mean, they're not huge worlds by any means, but they have their own little unique charm.
For the first time, you gain an unlock point to unlock new construction.
Yeah.
You can unlock constructions by
It's basically just telling me about unlocking stuff here. This is what I was talking about earlier. You either get to pick the sawmill or the spinning table, I think. I went with the spinning table. Spinning wheel, yeah. I went with the spinning wheel myself. So, unlock the spinning wheel, and it does its little thing. By the way, when you're in this area, if you fall in the water, it just teleports you to the nearest land, so it gets a little annoying later on, but also, I think it's very missable, but don't forget to hop over to these little chests here. They have recipes to craft stuff. Like, that's the club table, which, you know, if your starting weapon breaks, you're going to need something to fight the enemies with. Assuming you don't want to completely rely on your towers. So, yeah, so just hop around, make sure to get all these little chests, and that'll give you more recipes to craft when you get back into the game. There's a lot of ways to heal yourself, and I haven't really had any enemies do damage to me in what I've played so far. Stick campfire can heal you. The whale, I think, can heal you by drinking.
Hey, come and talk to me if you were interested in
But yeah,
buying some
once you
upgrades.
leave the area, it just kind of pops you back into this like hub world kind of thing. And then you can go to different areas here. This is another trader that lets you unlock stuff. There's a tower right there that also heals nearby allies. I can't really justify doing that because I haven't really lost any health, and I'm not playing with anybody else, but that would be something that'd probably be good if you're playing co-op. Be able to drop a healing tower. So as you saw, I went with the slam tower. It has a cool little shockwave effect. It's good for enemies that are getting a little too close. I think ideally, you probably want to put them like really close to your crystal in case any enemies slip past you. I just dropped them to check them out a little bit. So this is like the second area, and as you can see, this one's kind of more of a straight shot than we've had before. That's just kind of a zigzag, but not very big zigs, you know. They got pretty close to a straight shot right to the crystal. So I try to go out and upgrade everything as much as I can early on. This is where I kind of learned that in the early game, it doesn't really make a lot of sense to pick the spinning wheel first, because basically the spinning wheel does in the early game for you is it lets you craft rope, and the only thing you can really do with that rope is repair these winches. And what the winches do is they'll spawn stuff like coal or clay depending on the area. They'll spawn it around them, but I mean, clay is useful for upgrading, but you don't need a lot of clay, at least in the early game. So if I had went with the saw, I could have dug up the clay I needed and went with planks. So I highly recommend when you start up, go with the sawmill first. That way you can upgrade your towers again, and that'll just make this level so much smoother for you. The spinning wheel is fun, and you know, it took me forever to figure out what I need, where I could get the leaves. I could not figure out where I'm supposed to get these leaves. And eventually I realized it's these dark green, like curly leaves. Kind of look like a Dr. Seuss thing. You can kind of see one in the background behind this tree. I'll skip some of it ahead so you can see, yeah, where I chop one down. Yeah, no joke. I skipped through like 10 minutes worth of me just playing this level. I didn't realize how long I stayed in this level before I realized how to get the rope. But yeah, you saw me chop down that dark green one. Now I can make the basic rope. Use the basic rope to repair this. And now that that's repaired, those little clay things will respawn. There's a lot of like the winches and stuff really pose a weird question of like, it feels like you're really investing in this area, and to not be able to come back to it is so weird to me. Like, I'm upgrading stuff, I'm like building resources and stuff, and then I'm just gonna like, once I defeat the wave, I'm done. I don't come back to this area ever again. It's odd. Don't forget, you know, once you get your resources to go around and upgrade. I almost forgot to upgrade all these. And it's another odd thing is it seems like the slam towers and the normal towers upgrade costs the exact same. Like, you upgrade a slam tower with the same resources you upgrade a basic tower with, which just seems odd to me. Also, the classes, going back to the classes, I feel like that should be like, it's a tower defense game. So when I picked a mage, the thing I was going into it thinking was, okay, I'm going to be able to use magic towers, you know? Like, I'm going to be able to use like some kind of arcane towers. Just like the tower defense games I play on mobile and stuff. And not to be able to do that, it's really weird. It just kind of makes me feel like the classes don't really matter all that much. Maybe later on in the game, it's different, it changes, but as of right now, I don't really get the whole point of the classes at all, because like, I'm having to build a club now because my wand is gone. So even though I'm a mage, I'm still smacking rats with a club like a barbarian or something. In hindsight, It does get a little boring because, you know, you can get into it and you can help fight, but for a lot of it, it's just you're just waiting around for the enemies to come towards you. And I mean, that's just how tower defense works, but it didn't really, like, I got all this coal here, but I don't understand what the point of even putting a coal mine over here was, because I don't have any use for coal at this point in the game. I can't really do anything with it. Smack. And that's it. The entrance collapses, and that's it for that one. That one took a lot longer. You're probably going to be spending like 15-20 minutes in that one. But now I can upgrade the other one, and I totally forgot that chest right there. And as you can see, the game gets a little overzealous with the jumping, and you just kind of bounce around. Weirdly enough, you can kind of like walk on the water like Naruto run over it if you're fast enough and you just keep hitting the jump. But you can't jump out of the water high enough to get on land again, so you just eventually drown and disappear. So I'm going to skip past this until I actually pull it off. And there we go. The key is you got to go slow on the first platform because you can over jump it really easily, but the second platform, once you're on there, you want to kind of jump as far as you can. Well, I guess that would be the third platform, isn't it? I normally skip that first one by going around to the edges. So now I've unlocked all the starting stuff: the sawmill, spinning wheel, club table, crafting table, stick campfire. I've unlocked the slam tower, and I think I'm going to unlock the cannon tower. I don't really see a use in the healing tower, and I don't really see a use in the ground tower because it's limited to non-flying enemies, which I feel like are going to become a big deal. But that's pretty much it. I'm going to stop here now that we've sailed to this new area. If you like the game, drop a like, and please subscribe for more videos.